everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be doing a review on the Real Housewives of Potomac season 5. So if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you stay tuned. So the episode starts off where the last one ended. It's a continuation. Wendy and Ashley are at the table going in with each other, and Wendy was really giving it to Ashley. She called her broke. She's talking about all her degrees. She said, I didn't call her husband broke. I called Ashley broke, and her butthole was broke, so she broke. I thought that was funny. And you know, she called Ashley a bitch and all kind of stuff. After that, the girls kind of came in and they're trying to calm the whole situation down. Karen is talking about how it's really low to call someone a bitch. And of course, the shady producers are going to do a flashback to where Karen called Robin a bitch. I'm just saying. Clearly, we can see that Wendy does nothing but wrong in Karen's eyes. And Robin has jumped in and tried to explain what Ashley was saying, as if Ashley wasn't giving it to Wendy just like Wendy was giving it to Karen. It was too much. Of course, everyone sides with Ashley because Ashley is the older girl, you know, and Wendy is the newbie. But eventually, they end the dinner. Everybody goes to their rooms to cool off. One thing that I was like, Ashley, now you're trying it. She's like, Wendy, why are you upset that I'm bringing my baby for the health of me and my child? Let's not sit up here and act like it was for the health of you and your kid. You brought your baby because your husband told you that he couldn't stay home. Clearly, he had to go out and he had other plans, but we'll get into that a little bit later. The next morning, everyone's getting ready, and Monique got everybody welcome baskets with personalized robes. They had their names on them, everybody's name except for Wendy's. Wendy said newbie. I thought that was really, really cute. Monique clearly is a very hospitable guest, hospitable host. I think I would like to go on trips with her. And while they are getting ready for breakfast, Monique and Giselle decide to have a pancake pageant cook-off. There were a lot of pageants in this episode. So while they are sitting there having their pancake cook-off, and Giselle is over here cooking her little ugly pancakes, and Monique is over here cooking her perfectly round, fluffy looking pancakes, Ashley is in the room taking care of the baby and calling Michael to no avail. He does not answer. And in the confessional, she says something about, you know, she's used to not seeing Michael, you know, all day, so for some reason it wasn't hard for her to leave him. All of this is foreshadowing, okay, just in case you did not know. All of this is foreshadowing of the further downfall of Michael and Ashley's relationship. Y'all, I promise you, we're going to get there in a little bit because I got some things to say on Michael and Ashley. We're going to get there. The pancake pageant starts. Everyone grabs their pancakes. They eat them. They were judged on 2 categories, presentation and taste. And of course, Dr. Wendy had to be the host and the person to tally up the scores. So Giselle, for presentation, because her pancakes were flat and ugly, got an 11 out of possible 25. But she did redeem herself when it came to taste. She got 22 out of 25. Now we have Monique. Monique's pancakes were nice, pretty, and fluffy, and she got a score of 23 out of 25. But that is where all the praise ends, because her taste score was a 16 out of 25. But at the end of the day, Monique was the overall winner with a score of 39 compared to Giselle's measly 35 points. So Monique ends up winning. Candace makes a point to say something in her confessional about that the pancakes were like a metaphor for the women. Giselle's pancakes might be a little messy on the outside, but deep down they're really good, while Monique's might be really, really nice on the outside, but deep down there's nothing to it. That was shady. And really the entire episode, Candace was in the doggone confessional giving it to Monique, making shady statements. But in the actual show, they seemed to be essentially, you know, getting along to get along. They weren't arguing. They even had a few jokes around each other. So we're seeing, but we're definitely seeing Candace making a few more jabs and things than others, than Monique was. Monique didn't really say anything about her. I think the tide is definitely starting to turn in the show for Monique, and they're really going to be trying to portray her negatively in this whole situation that's going to come down with Candace. But I'm just ready to get to this fight, honey. How many episodes we got till then? Side note, these shady producers, the producers were so shady this episode. All the cutaways, the captions for T'Challa, the flashbacks, the way they were putting the screen in black and white and slow motion and all this stuff. 12 hours later. Like, it was just, they really were bringing the drama. The editors were really pulling the drama up for this episode. And it's kind of funny to watch. Overall, this was a pretty light shade episode. The producers were, the editors were more shady than the girls actually were. So after breakfast, Giselle and Wendy go on a walk. They are all going to be meeting up to go fishing and like paddle boating. How do you say that? Paddle boating on the lake. So Giselle and Wendy take the time to walk down to like this little shed to get the boats and stuff. And of course, while they're walking, Giselle takes this time to be the messy person that she is. She cannot wait. She will run back, like, you done ran to Wendy, ran to Karen to say what Robin said, Wendy said, whatever. Now you're gonna run to Wendy to say what Karen said. Giselle is so freaking messy. It's so aggravating to watch, and she could not wait. She basically let Wendy know that Karen really ain't seeing it for her. You know, she said something about calling her a floozy freelancer or something like that. I don't know if she called her a floozy freelancer. I know she said freelancer, but you know, I feel like anytime Giselle brings anything back, it's always putting 10 on, put it 20 on 10. I'm sorry, y'all. She just aggravates me so bad. She aggravated me even more once they actually got down to the little shed to go to the lake or whatever, because she complains about absolutely everything. Everything? Everything. I wouldn't want to be in a friend group with her. If you have to complain about everything, like, shut up. Y'all are out here. It's beautiful. Even if you're not like a super outdoorsy type of person, because I'm not an outdoorsy type of person, but I mean, just enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the nature, enjoy the scenery, enjoy God's green earth, first lady. Something. Just shut up. Like, this is, when someone is that miserable, you can tell, because it just seeps out of their pores. It's just like everything they say is laced with an extra level of misery. And I just see that all over Giselle. She bothers me so bad. But anyway, they go down, they go fishing. These are not the ladies to be fishing. Let's be clear about it, honey. These women and fishing is a whole heap of hot mess. But they do it. Everybody essentially is a good sport about it. Monique goes out on the paddle boat by herself. She's really enjoying herself. She's really in her element. Robin and Candace are struggling in their little paddle boat, and everybody else stays on the deck to fish. So that's Karen, Giselle, Ashley, and Wendy. And while they're up there fishing, Wendy actually comes to Ashley, and she is basically apologizing for her delivery and for calling her a bitch at the dinner table. I'm not gonna lie, it would have been hard to apologize to Ashley because she's a butthead. She's like, oh really, Wendy? Is this an apology? Are you apologizing? But at the end of the day, they both acknowledged their wrong. apologized and moved on. And that's all I was saying in the last episode. Like, an apology costs you nothing. But I think at the table, like I said last week, at the table, Wendy's claws are out, defenses are up. You're not going to get anything out of me, period. You're not going to get nothing out of me, period. But, you know, she, again, the next day, they were able to, Ashley and Wendy were able to meet on one accord to kind of bond over being new moms, or, you know, fresh moms, however you want to word it. Both of them with their, you know, 3-month-old babies. Ashley opened up about dealing with some postpartum depression. Wendy opened up about, you know, just dealing with the feelings of leaving her baby so soon and so early. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I get it. Like, I had to leave my son when he was like 2 months. He was like a little over 2 months. I left him for 3 days, and yes, don't get me wrong, it was hard, but I think it wasn't like I didn't like the crying on the deck like Wendy was doing. I didn't cry or anything like that. But also, I think the biggest difference is I actually left to do something. I actually left on a girls trip with people that were my actual friends versus these group of ladies who are kind of forced into friendship. And that brings me to my point about how they were sitting there after, you know, after fishing. They went back to the house. They were sitting around eating, and everyone's talking about how they were going stir crazy, and they hadn't even been there a whole day. See, if y'all were actually friends, then this trip would be fine. Even if we're just out here just chilling, I have no problem just chilling with actual friends. But this is a group of frenemies. So I guess to deal with a group of frenemies for 3 days with, like, I guess not your cell phone and all this stuff, maybe it's torturous. First world problems. But overall, Ashley and Wendy did have a good conversation. I was happy to see them come on one accord. So, okay, this trip is back on a good foot. Okay, we back on it. We get back to the house. Everybody kind of goes their separate ways, calls their husbands. You see Ashley talking to Michael. And one of the producers asked Ashley, how does Michael feel about not being first in your life anymore? You know, referring to the baby. And Ashley's like, he doesn't like it. I'm going to be honest. Ashley probably has never been first in Michael's life. So it is what it is, you know. He, during this conversation, lets her know, you know, we celebrated last night, and I'm a little toe up today, and that probably is why he didn't answer the phone. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to say this. There's nothing wrong with your husband going out and celebrating and having a good time. And again, at this point, it looks like they have pretty good communication. Like, you know, everything's open, honest. This is no surprise. This will be no surprise to her that he was out and about, because she knew it. They were closing a big deal. While all the other ladies are trying to talk, Giselle's trying to talk to Jamal, can't get him. Karen is talking to Ray. Ray is unenthused and ready to go golfing. We get a little scene of the ladies by the pool, and Candace makes a point to talk about how some of the ladies are definitely her kind of mother role models, and because they don't seem like they have to be perfect, and they discuss that, and they let Candace know there's no such thing as a perfect mom. At the end of the day, we're all just figuring it out. There is no handbook or anything for it, and all of this storyline that Candace is having, I just feel like maybe she should do some self-work before committing to having a child. Like, if you have all of these doubts and all of these insecurities and all of this kind of stuff, go to a therapist and work on yourself before bringing a child into the world. And not saying that I don't think Candace would be a great mom. I think Candace would be a nice mother. She seems to be, you know, loving and, you know, affectionate and intelligent and things like that, and probably would give her child the world. But she definitely has some immaturities and some shortcomings that she needs to kind of work through. And not saying that she has to do that after she has a child, but if you're already, or before she has a child, but if you already have all of these kind of insecurities and things like that, get that handled first. There's no reason to rush into having a baby if you're not ready. And the way that she keeps bringing up that she's doubting herself, and you know, she looks at other people and she doesn't know if that's what she can do, then just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? And she shouldn't feel pressured to do it. I think Candace might be feeling a little bit more pressure to have a baby just because of all of the new babies within the group. And that's understandable. You know, when you start seeing your other friends have babies and then you see their cute little babies, your ovaries start jumping. I get it, but I want Candace to take some time. I mean, y'all just got married. Like, y'all just had your 1 year anniversary. Chill out. You have time. You're still in your early 30s. You're good. So then we have the Lady of the Lake pageant, and that was super cute and super funny. See, this is what I like. Some fun shade, nothing too dirty. They had 3 categories. They had the pageant walk. I definitely voted for Candace for that walk, honey. Candace was serving. Y'all better be glad I ain't got no space. I would serve for y'all. Then they had the question and answer portion, and Giselle is giving the shadiest of questions. Candace, why are you so short? Candace represented for us vertically challenged girls, honey. She said we have to reach. We have to reach for our dreams. I felt that. I felt that down here. I felt that. And she, Giselle asked Ashley, why is her head so big? And she said something about it's a sign of beauty and intelligence, which I have both. Again, y'all. Again, I felt that. I felt that down here. So that was super cute. And then they did their talent competition. Ashley did a twerk, if that's what you call a twerk. Ashley's daddy's side was coming out during that twerk. I'm sorry. Maybe it was because her butthole was torn up. You can't get a good jiggle when you got a hole in your butt, I guess. And then Candace sung. Of course, we already knew Candace's talent was going to be singing. She sung Happy Birthday for the umpteenth time. Overall, Candace won the Lady of the Lake. It was cute. It was really cute, like a cute little kiki. I enjoyed that little scene. Then they decide to get ready for dinner. As they're getting ready for dinner, Candace receives a text message from one of her friends who basically was like, look, I went to the strip club to visit my homegirl, and your homegirl's baby daddy was in there with all the strippers, saying that he got a boyfriend and a wife, trying to take them to the hotel room. Now, we didn't see that part of the text message. I just want to make that clear. We saw the part of the text message where he was in there with a whole bunch of strippers at a strip club. I mean, whatever. And then he had a boyfriend and a wife. We didn't see the part of the text message where they were saying he was inviting people to his hotel room. Apparently, he was staying at the MGM. So as soon as Candace gets this information, the first person she runs to is Missy Giselle. Because Candace and Ashley just now got back on one accord, so she can't be the one to bring this information, right? Of course not. So Giselle would be the better one to bring the information, wouldn't she? I mean, she brings all the other mess, right? I just feel like, why do we always have to go to Giselle with the mess? I feel like, I understand Candace ain't want to go to Ashley, but going around Ashley to tell other folks before you tell Ashley is even messier than just going in there and just be like, look, I know we just got on the good foot, but this is what was sent to me. I don't want to be spreading stuff about your husband. I don't want you to think I'm being shady, so I'm just letting you know this is what I got. Because you had to walk past Ashley to get to Giselle. You could have dipped it and nipped it right then and there. But I mean, this is reality TV, so we must have the drama, right? So Giselle advises Candace that she has to tell Ashley this tonight at the dinner in front of the group. Y'all, Worst advice ever. We ain't even seen what's gonna happen, but already worst advice. So they get to the crab house. They're completely overdressed. Everybody's having a good time. Monique begins to express her kind of frustration with Chris, saying that, you know, when she leaves out of town, she gives Chris all, she makes sure Chris is laced with all the staff, but he doesn't do it for her. Monique also said something earlier in the episode about her frustration with Chris because he decided he wanted to change the plans and just hire a caterer versus cooking. And she made a comment about she's just gonna tuck it into her little box and put it on the shelf. And that, I think that is definitely telling to them having some type of stress in their marriage. We are, again, seeing that it brought stress. Some of the stress that was brought to their marriage at this time probably were these behind the scene rumors going on. So all of this is just adding to this box that Monique is talking about. But she's definitely letting the ladies know and expressing her frustrations. What I will say is be careful expressing your frustrations about your husband, especially to these group of ladies, because let's be clear, we have Robin over there with Juan. We don't want to emulate that relationship. Giselle and Jamal, we damn sure don't want to emulate that relationship. Right now, Karen and Ray aren't on the same page. We got these rumors with Ashley and Michael, and you know, Chris and Candace are new. So like, you just like, I don't feel like this is the group of friends to voice your frustration about your husband to. You know, I would kind of keep that to my chest, or keep that to just a smaller group of the you know, a smaller select group than the entire group. Is like, I'm sorry, I would not be spilling none of my personal business in front of Giselle or Robin or Ashley for that matter. Although I think Ashley's a little bit more genuine sometimes, but still I probably no. Because if Ashley know what, then the green eye bandits know what, and I ain't finna tell none of my business. I'm just saying. So after that, Monique asked Ashley, you know, oh, how's Michael? You know, how is he doing? Dean not being there, you not being there. Ashley says it, you know, gives her response, and the episode ends with Candace getting ready to tell Ashley about the text messages that she got during this really nice dinner of crab. They know how to mess up a dinner, don't they? They know how to mess up a dinner. One thing, but don't mess up my crab dinner. Of all the dinners to mess up, don't mess up my crab dinner with this mess. And if you truly don't want to be seen as messy, Candace, then you should have pulled her to the side, outside of the table, outside of the group. And let's be clear, I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired of every season Michael getting caught in something. Like, seriously. Like, Michael, how about you get you somebody over in Australia and you can't get caught or something. Like, I'm so sick of Michael. And it's never like it's just he say, she say. They always come with pictures. Always come with pictures. I'm so sick and tired of it. That's why I say that Ashley and Michael have a relationship, honey. They have some type of entanglement that we are just not meant to understand. Ashley got her baby now. She got her check. So if something was to break off, she won't be broke like Miss Wendy say no more, honey. I guarantee she gonna get her cut of it all. I guarantee it. But that's it, y'all. I'm sick of these to be continued episodes. I think this is like the, what, third or fourth one this season. If y'all to be continue me one more time, I'm gonna scream. But that's it. Tell me what y'all thought about Wendy actually apologizing to Ashley. What do you think about Monique expressing her frustrations about her marriage with Chris? Also, tell me what you think about Messy Giselle being the bone collector and coming back and complaining and telling everybody about everything. And of course, we have to talk about the Ashley and Michael rumor. Let's talk about it all down in the comments. But before you leave, I want to make sure I give a shout out to my Patreons because they always get early access to all of my videos. If you were a Patreon, you would have got this video yesterday. Okay? So if you want to join my Patreon, just click the link down below and I will see y'all next week for another one. Peace.